Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the RationalInvestor.com's Daily Brief Recap. We did a pretty lengthy broiler chicken show yesterday, so I don't think we have to do too long of a offering here this morning. Today is Monday. Happy August. Man, churning through this 2020. What a crazy year this has been. For whatever it's worth, TRI education programs are all coming into their final week, so students are all getting ready to write exams. Good luck to all you respectively. And Brian gets to take a vacation next week, so I'll be away. I don't know whether we'll do recaps. Probably these will be put on pause while I'm gone. Daily Brief Mondays, we have a report from our CTO Sjord, as well as we had a fun report from Jamie. So we got a really cool European perspective of what's going on in the world this morning. And long and short of it here, basically business as usual. Everything that we sort of talked about, fundamental events for crypto, etc., seem to be playing into tomorrow in ETH. I suppose we can talk about that in a bit, but nothing really earth-shattering out of the gate here this morning. And I have seen that risk is catching a bit again here today. Some of the risk-off assets are coming off. So as long as they keep taking risk higher, then what the hell? I'll just keep paying myself. I have this basic strategy of selling half of my position when assets double, so that way I can just try and keep participating as they keep taking assets higher and higher and higher. So, make hay while the sun's shining. Banged out another double here this morning. And interestingly enough, the Canadian market actually is closed today. This is technically BC Family Day. There's a holiday everybody should mark down on their calendars. So, actually, I'm supposed to be on vacation right now. What am I doing working? Oh, well, like I said, I'm going to take next week off. So, most of my portfolio is closed today. I really didn't do much. But, I have some U.S. stocks on the books. U.S. market's open. They are popping, and so I'm taking advantage of poppers as they pop. For the purposes of your guys' presentation here, like I said, I usually like to just sort of stick to a simple matrix, give you an idea of risk on versus risk off. Then if there's any specialty situations that are jumping out at me, I like to make reference. So, as always, good idea to start at our good old U.S. dollar index hegemony and try and figure out what the hell the plan of the 1% are. Fascinating how we came down doink, 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 3 tags. My hunch is this is some sort of bottom here. We will see how that goes. I suppose simplicity. I don't know whether we want to keep these. I might redo these market symmetry studies. But simplicity purposes, our high down to our low. If this is indeed the low, I think it was 55. 92.55. If we, of course, you're never going to cooperate. Let's just use that. If we're looking for just a normal, healthy, technical retracement, not a bull market, not a bear market, just a dead cat bounce, we probably should be looking for 97.70 area, which, interestingly enough, is just going to do nothing more than just take back this meltdown. Very coordinated, almost suspicious. Move in the currency index. We could very easily see, ironically enough, in this crazy world, you could actually see a perfect mirror of that market symmetry kind of talk. But for the time being, we've bounced hard off of the bottom. Didn't quite put in a key reversal or an engulfing bar. We do have a candle body engulfing. That's generally usually a bullish sign. So not really a big surprise to see dead cat bounce off the lows. This high to low trend line is probably a resistance here in the short term. Then, just looking at this particular range, my hunch is this is like 38.2s. And our rule at TRI is we can't really determine if this bear is done until 38.2 has resolved itself. So if we go 38.2, lo and behold, whoop, that's not 38.2. Let's try that again. Oh, you cheeky bug, you're not going to work, are you? Sometimes I have to refresh this page, so give me a second here. Do 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 do. All right, now we're back. All right, let's try that again. 38.2. Where are you? Boom. There we go. So could very easily see a counter trend rally up into this neighborhood, and probably what it means is a test of that low as sort of resistance. So I would like to see us on the other side of this trend line. If this is actually a bottom, we'll put in W's and we'll start working our way up. So that's basically where this conversation ends. There's nothing else really to report. I think shorts are done. Actually, a really cool illustration of this. Let's see, where do I have that? I think I tweeted this out the other day. I mean, absolutely textbook. High to low trend line. Wow, what a level. A, B, C, D. Wow, what a level. And then this is so cool. The anti-US dollar or gold. A, B, C, D. Bang. Wow, what a level. So I get the impression whatever this move was, it's done. Now we have to sort of wait for the next consolidation to tell us where she wants to go next. So, interestingly enough, this should technically be a risk-off bet. But I get the impression right now, actually, a big part of the market is just waiting on this U.S. Political situation. The right wing in the U.S. is kind of putting up a bit of a fight, being as generous with the public within the U.S. Senate, and they would like to try and scale back some of the aid of this latest relief bill. The left wing, of course, would like to be a little more generous with payouts to the underprivileged, and they're at a bit of an impasse right now. And interestingly enough, I've often said this, usually what happens in the political situation is impasses lead to panic, and then only after the panic and the sky's falling, you gotta do something, do they actually act. So I have a funny feeling this political process is going to be drawn out for a little bit, because you can see stocks are moving higher. So the politicians don't have any impetus to really step in here and, bail out the market. So I don't know whether this is risk on, risk off, or whether it's sort of like we're just not quite sure what we want to think right now. We've just been through an absolute tsunami of selling, and everybody's sort of like, okay, what the hell's happening now? In that sort of path of least resistance kind of world, we don't really know what the future's going to hold here. The path of least resistance appears to still be up, right? We had those interesting levels come in last week. Lower time frame, we had some harmonic levels, and they just got smashed. And what was fascinating about this is I think international markets are pretty weak, but these U.S. tech stocks, man, they are just insanely strong. Money is just pouring into them, and anything that's sort of technology related, oh my goodness. So just be curious just to go back and see how the market carpet looks like in the stock market today. Yeah, same thing. So why is the U.S. stock market strong? Microsoft, Apple, even Google and Amazon are kind of soft here today. I don't really, looks like Berkshire's perking up. Keep in mind, Berkshire does own a huge chunk of Microsoft. More conservative, later stage cycle names, a bit weaker here. Actually, interestingly enough, we were talking about this in the daily brief to a certain degree. I do believe, actually, on the economic cycle, and of course the public, they probably won't understand this. But just quickly, and I made reference to this in the daily brief, so anybody who's wanting, I didn't show the chart. I can't remember how to do this now. Their pages are all so fancy schmancy. Look at all these. Oh boy, I know you're awesome. You're the best, man. You rule. Well, maybe it's over here. Ah, here we go. We follow a model called sector rotation this is not what I wanted. What am I doing here? On the site. Where the hell's that damn... Got the wrong thing here. Oh, here it is. It's this one. On the site, sector rotation. And really all you want to do is you want to try and ask, who's the strongest sectors, where's the money flowing in the market. It'll give you a pretty good idea of where the economy is. So right now, as you saw off of that market carpet I showed you a second ago, real estate, utilities, financials, no, the money's not flowing into there. So we're not at this part of the economic cycle. Where is money flowing into? Technology, communication services. Oh boy, so we must be somewhere around here. And it's interesting because Jamie was, in his fundamental analysis report today, was suggesting that the cyclicals, right, the economically sensitive, they'll do the best when the economy's rocking and rolling. They should do well as soon as we start getting news of things like COVID vaccines, and then the economy's sort of like, okay, we can get beyond this COVID and the economy can start ramping up again. So it's interesting to see things like technology and communication services outperforming right here. And I really think we're sort of like right down in this neighborhood right here. So go figure. Kind of, there is, what's that? Technology! Communication services! Right? And here's, financials, real estate, utility. They look horrible. Right? So, a little bit of a tangent there, but nonetheless. So interesting how indexes, they might just, keep bumping their way higher here. I do like the idea of just having a little bit of insurance on the books because at some point, over the next 6 months, we'll probably get, typical seasonal corrections. So you can see we've come an awful long way on the stock market. Interestingly enough, if we look at our crazy little chaos theory, which actually wasn't a bad little guide for things like Bitcoin and Ethereum and stuff. It's actually painting an objective here at 34.10 off of this head and shoulders. And notice that'll take us, look at this high, the all-time highs were 33.97.50. So what this is basically saying is these guys want to take this market up. They want for you-know-who to print that, hey, look how great I am. Stock market's at all-time highs. Vote for me. You know that's coming. And it's just interesting how you do a nice high to low trend line here. And I get the impression that what we really want to do is sort of kiss this trend line from underneath. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that's also like a crab, deep crab level. So yes, I did a little bit of buying of puts here recently. I will buy some more, just like I went and bought a little bit of puts on for like December Ethereum, and I've got a September Bitcoin put, but it's probably going to expire worthless. But just to cover my ass in case the market craps out, we got a lot of risk in here. I'm going to, obviously we don't have a sell signal now. We had the potential for one coming in. If this had M'd out, then I'd be like, oh boy, here we go. But it didn't. So I might add to that, but keep in mind those are like March options that I'm buying here, forever away. So just be aware of that. So with that said, looks like our crude oil trade is underwater again. This is going to be a tough one. How many shorts do we have to take before this damn thing breaks? I don't know what's going to happen. This has been a fun exercise with you guys, but we'll just keep tracking it. We got our stop working up above. You can see we're basically at our short level, and just hurry up and do nothing. Risk on catching a bid, same as the stock market. It's interesting how this guy's not going to new highs, though. So, again, there's more sort of anecdote of risk on coming into the market. Then risk off. Bonds are kind of getting beat up here at this AB equals CD objective. Isn't that incredible how that shit works? So what a surprise. In comes the top. Now we might even get like an empire here, and if that does fire, then oh boy, here we go. And that might be that crazy stock market zipping up to new all-time highs there. I've always said before, don't get into the business of predicting the future. Just try and trade setups. Go with the flow. Go with the chalk marks. And you never know what the hell's going to happen in this crazy world. Speaking of you never know what's going to happen in this crazy world, I do like the idea that we're near some sort of finish of this move of the gold. We've hit bot objectives. We have chaos levels. You can see how extended it is. Could the market go through some sort of crazy blow off top here? Sure, market can do any old damn thing it wants. For whatever it's worth, I've exited quite a few of the gold trades that I was in and gold related proxies that I was trying to capture this move. And if I get more strength, of course, I'll keep selling. You know me, when I sell half on a double, I still got to whack a stock on the books. And you never know what's going to happen. The option trades that I had in the gold market, I just liquidated them because I'm chicken shit. And we've come into technical objectives. I'm more than happy to ring the register. If gold wants to keep going, awesome. Way to go. You're the best. You rule. I'm not in this trade anymore. So it is interesting to see, like, bonds getting whacked. If I'm not mistaken, I think the yen's getting whacked as sort of our risk-off proxies. So it is interesting to see bonds coming off, yen coming off. Gold's sort of, like I've said before, it's caught between this sort of, am I a risk-on asset, i.e. inflation, the Fed's printing lots of money, US dollar values collapsing, so I have to go up. Or am I risk-off, I'm going to bury my head in the sand, I don't believe in growth, there will never be any growth, I'm just going to park myself in a nice safe asset. It's kind of living in both worlds right now. I certainly don't like the idea of shorting these metals markets. Probably once we get into the new year, that's when I'm going to be like super excited to really hunt shorts in the metals. Right now, I'm just sort of like, you just do your thing. If you can consolidate again, then I might take another look at the long side. All right, so risk on, risk off. Risk offers generally are coming off and actually maybe even threatening to flash sell signals. Risk honors are breaking a new high. Show me a new high and I'll show you a buy, blah, blah, blah. Really, I think probably the bonds, they're going to be watching this oil really closely. And if oil's like, screw it, I'm going higher, then I would imagine that's going to kick the shit out of the bonds. If oil does take off here, that's going to be problematic also too for the transports. And I've been noticing the transports are looking a little heavy here. So, if we look at our junior stock market proxy as to risk on, risk off, and where's money flowing. Remember we did have this crazy outside bullish reversal there about a month or so ago. And she's just been churning higher here. We did get a really nutso little blow off top into that Fed announcement date. I was kind of thinking, okay, maybe that was bullshit. I think you can make the argument there's a bit of an empire working right here. So if we start moving below this low in earnest, there could be trouble. But notice she's perking up here. And if we change that to like a line chart, man, this thing, it doesn't look like it wants to stop here. I don't know how to do this. Maybe I'll just do this. There we go. So, give me a nice M here. And what's interesting is the shit perp index looks almost the same. So we're pushing higher here. If I get a big M, then look out, right? M's, uh-oh, M's, uh-oh, M's, uh-oh, M's, uh-oh. No M's yet, so no uh-oh. Big honkin' M that sort of gave us a holy shit, this could be the end. Nope, sorry. So right now, just feeling relatively okay. I don't know whether I really like buying too much stuff in here, end of the summer, that kind of talk. Did have a couple names that haven't performed yet, that are just basically sitting right at our buy levels. But I'm not going to chase anything here whatsoever. Actually, this is a good dovetail. So, when you see a chart that looks like that, you should probably instantly, if you're watching one of these videos, think, well, gee whiz, here comes Brian. Going to be talking about ringing the register and getting paid and selling halves on doubles, blah, blah, blah. What I thought was fascinating about this is that this is such a great anecdote basically the exact same thing happened back last cycle in cryptocurrency, where guys who were trying to build like followings, who are what do they call them? Social media influencers, all that kind of craziness. Then the individual, like they actually had, through the last crypto exchange, they actually had like, join our pump group. We pump coins once a week at this time. It's easy, free money. That kind of nonsense. And it was great because literally TRI was already long the coins that they were pumping, and it was like, pump into our sell orders, pump into our sell orders. Bring those retailers, bring those bag holders. They're going to buy my coins that I want to sell at twice what I bought them at. Fine by me. Now the same thing's happening in the stock market. So there's one very popular social media icon who, frankly, I have absolutely no respect for whatsoever. And I can see that this is just going to end in a disaster one day. He was out social media pumping this name. Ironically enough, and as I just said there a moment ago, this is, of course, music to my ears, because all they're doing is they are just pumping into my sell orders. Thank you very much. So, just running my small business of trading, I have a rule that says I hunt for names that people are not interested in. If Mr. Barstool was such a great stock picker, this is actually where he should have been interested in this name. But no, Mr. Barstool comes along here and touts this. And I can absolutely tell you, you come in and you buy this asset right here, this has got a world of trouble written all over it. This is horrible. Horrible, 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 horrible. I mean, maybe the damn thing just keeps going up. But as you can see here, as they pump these names, this is now 10x off the bottom. What are you doing coming in buying an asset 10x off the bottom? That's like Bitcoin bottoming at like $1,000 and you coming in at $10,000 and saying, I'm buying the bottom. No, you're not. Oh, well. The irony of it all is usually actually when I put these tweets out that they've rallied the stock into my sell levels, and people in crypto used to hate me for this. Literally the moment that I would bang out double tweet, that would stop the rally in its tracks and the thing would just melt back down. I got a funny feeling we're gonna go through another one of these phases. So, long and short of it here, TRI got paid. Way to go. Just a great analogy of what I do, just running my small business of trading. And this is what I call irrationality. You want to come in here and buy this asset with a chart that looks like that, good luck. But if I ever heard that a TRIer was coming in on the buy side in this kind of market, I would give them their subscription back and tell them, please, you do not belong here at TRI. It's just as simple as that. So, it is what it is. But thank you very much, Mr. Barstool. You pumped right into my sell orders. I think I'll have a nice steak in your honor tonight in your name. So while I'm sipping on my Chianti, I will be thinking about Barstool stock promoters and what's the next stock you're going to pump into my sell orders. Please, thank you. In advance, I'll say thank you very much. Okay, now I'm just being a bit silly. As for the corn, as I sort of said there a few minutes ago, we spent, of course, a ton of time yesterday in the broiler chicken show going over the corn. And more importantly, I think that Ethereum is really driving the bus here. I suppose we can put our can buy window right there now. The way I'm looking at this is what I see is a significant longer term resistance line. This is a pretty darn important level right here. Super, super resistance. As well, too, we had this big pop up and pull back, and I've just left this on the chart, so that was a pretty good reference. Good old parking garage. Fascinating how we rallied right up to 200% and stopped on a dime. We have nice low to high trend lines. Love using those as a resistance level. We had high to high trend lines. Love using those as resistance levels. And of course, we got our good old chaos levels here to give us sort of gauges as to when the I guess the gas tank runs out of fuel, if you will. So put it all together, I don't think it should surprise anybody we stopped where we did. Following the sort of initial pullback into 38.2s, we're now deciding whether are we still a bull. If we are still a bull, then we'll probably do something like this. I think I drew that image for you guys yesterday. Well, that seems perfectly logical. What I'm worried about here, though, is, and we really don't want to see this actually come right up and make new highs, because that might actually start flashing things like divergence warnings out of our indicators, which we don't have right now, which is good. Off of the daily charts, this is still very healthy. If anything, if you're a bull, what you would prefer to see is, believe it or not, actually, I think you would prefer to see it actually come right down in here, form a nice W, and away we go. And no divergences, everything's nice, clean, squeaky clean, beautiful W's, just a nice, healthy, you can see the trend in MACD, it's something like that, terrible drawing. So just a nice, healthy pullback into here, and away we go. That's what I would ideally like to see. Of course, this world, very rarely does it ever ideally set stuff up. I have no idea how this is going to play out right now, and just the simple messages we have on the site, general rule. If you ever see a momentum divergence off of something like a 4-hour chart, it's probably best for you just to cool your jets. And to me, this makes actually really good sense, because Bitcoin's not really the focus right now. It's Ethereum. So really, this is really a question about what the hell's Ethereum going to do through its big event tomorrow. And, over there. Where do I have you, Ethereum? You're around here somewhere. Boom. Boom. I think you're over here. There you are. So, really, as I said, this is, in my opinion, more a conversation about Ethereum. Same sort of thing. We've come into some pretty important levels. 1.618 off of this range. Chaos levels, Faugenbaum, all that kind of fun stuff. Bang. We also had a couple AB equals CD harmonic objectives. So this low up to this high, boom, boom. Project that same range, bang, bang. And then also this cute little one, bang, 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 up into here. So it makes a lot of sense why we rallied up into here and sort of stalled. Exact same thing I said for Bitcoin, though. Nothing's really changed here. Absolutely insanely wild price action here. Poor old formers. Actually, I did a really great conversation about the Bitcoin DOM and how there was a lot of tells coming up into this part of the rally that there was trouble brewing. So be sure to watch that. Great reference piece. 38.2s. What a surprise. First stop target. So in essence, we slammed down into it and probably actually came all the way down to 50%. And same sort of conversation we said before, right? If we're a bull, what we really want to see is, come on, just calm down and do something like that. That would be ideal. But, this is capitalism, this is crypto. I doubt it's going to be polite like that. What you don't want to see here is you don't want to see a little perk up and then a pullback. So that creates like divergences off of our indicators. That would be a bad sign. And we look at our indicators, you can see we're getting awfully close to those highs. Momentum is nowhere near its old highs. Uh-oh, that's not good. So be careful here, folks. This to me looks like classic buy the rumor, and then what happens on the other side? Usually it's sell the news. But, do I have a trade here? No. I was interested in buying some more puts when we were consolidating here. I went and bought a December. Way to go. That was a bit premature. But nonetheless, I don't mind actually starting to build that position. So if I start getting topping patterns up here, I might just go and add to that December option because that gives me tons of time. I'm thinking though, honestly, I would actually really like to start shopping for the March options. So that's probably going to be the next purchase month that I do. Anyway, point of the matter here is buy the rumor, get ready for the news event. That's sort of, all of our crypto conversation all wrapped up into a nutshell because I really do think that most of this story in crypto right now is ETH. Shit perp, like I said, kind of looking like the junior penny market. Just got a head of steam behind it. No fails yet. As long as this trend line, I think, holds in, I think you're good to go. And, of course, that would be predicated on things like Ethereum and lots of other junior names all perking up. CTO, TRI CTO, Sjord has a fairly sizable position in this MCO or CRO. So he did spend quite a bit of time in the daily brief talking about what the implications of this reorganization are. So, TRI site members, maybe look into that. You just free YouTubers, just be aware there is a big reorganization going on with this MCO. So anybody who did buy it in the past, you've got about a month to make a decision as to whether you're going to stick with this MCO chain or whether you're going to transfer over to the CRO. And take advantage of the little extra bonus they're giving you for making the conversion. Sadly, Sjord pointed out that it looks like it's all bullshit. So just be careful on this thing. Maybe if you do own the CRO, pull up the price chart. You see what's going on. And maybe let them have some. It's tough to say. But there is I think it's like a 180-day hold if you do decide to do the conversion. So as a result, I think what's going to happen here is over that 180 days, they'll just take the price of the CRO back down 20% or more to offset that bonus. It's very cliche what's going on here. The problem here for a guy like me is I originally invested in the MCO idea because I really like the structure. The CRO that they're forcing people to transition into has horrible structure. So it's kind of leaving me feeling like maybe I just want to walk away from the whole story. I do technically have a free position on from the previous cycle. So if I just blow the thing out and walk away and just abandon the story entirely, it's just really a question of how much money did I make from that last investment years ago. Anyway, something for you to think about if you happen to be in the MCO story. Okay, I think I'll leave the rant at that for today. I hope you got some good value out of it. All the best, and the only thing left for Brian to say here is bye for now.